to them. The All-Seeing Guys. The All-Seeing Guys. With Greg and Joe. The All-Seeing Guys. The All-Seeing Guys. Greg and Joe.
Hello, welcome to episode 247 of All-Seeing Guys podcast with Greg and Joe. I, of course, am Greg, and I'm joined, as always, over the Skype waves by Who Are You?
I am obviously Joe Jackson.
Well,
Every
it
time.
wasn't obvious, that's why I asked.
Yeah, well, you say that, but, you know, I mean, who else is it going to be?
Obviously, Joe Jackson of Jacksonville, sat there in his room over my Skype.
I am, yeah.
I'm in the living room today, so it might actually sound better, who knows?
Yeah,
Although
well-
the mic's are way further away than me than normal. It's on a chair, I'm on the sofa under a blanket 'cause it's cold.
It is. It's a chilly one. It was.
Yeah, I'm
it was
not sick,
fine.
it's
It was
just cold.
cold, and then it wasn't cold for a bit, and now it's cold again.
But it's not like frosty and icy, like my car wasn't frozen. It's just
that
generally, it's just wet and cold.
Yeah.
My house gets
classic.
fucking cold like this because it's all like fucking floorboards.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like,
you
so
got
the
a lot
heating's
of,
on, but it's
lot
just
of
like,
vents.
fuck.
Got a lot of
Yeah,
air
there is a lot of
vents.
fucking vents.
Ours,
going
yeah, I mean, our windows are not great, so we do get a bit chilly. But you know, just whack the heating on for a bit, close the doors, so it all
Yeah.
traps inside. You're good to go. We've been lighting candles.
fucking
We've been getting into candles a little bit because it's quite cosy and sort of feels like it adds to the warmth.
Yeah.
So we went out and got a bunch of candles.
Oh, I've got candles too. I've got one lit now.
It's
in the
good.
kitchen.
I like it. I like it.
It's not going to give up much warmth, but it's there.
No, yeah.
I haven't
You're not,
bought it- I haven't bought it
crowded
for
around
warmth.
Crowded
bought it
around
for
it, trying to get
warmth.
some fucking heat off it. But yeah, they add a nice little sort of like calmness.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
it's
sure.
good. It's
I'm just sometimes I find myself waking up and I've left them on. And I'm like, fuck.
No, we're pretty
I've
good
just
with
dozed
getting. We're pretty good with putting them out. I mean, it's like one of them's quite big. It's supposed to like burn for like 100 hours.
Right. Yeah,
So,
I had a big one. It lasted fucking from like, I think I had it in April. I only threw it out like last month.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
But I don't have it lit continuously. But anyway, candles, eh? How about that,
Yeah.
listeners, eh? How long do our candles burn for? Eh? How long do yours are? Let us know. How long's your candle? What's your longest running candle? Get in touch. We really want to know. We'll try and
Yeah.
get a candle expert on for the next episode because we're not. Not yet.
We'll just
Joe
go.
sounds like he's
we'll
on
go,
his way.
We'll go candle making.
Joe's going to stop making sandwiches and start making candles, or convincing sandwich candles. How about that?
I can't see that being very easy.
Like,
In
is
all
it
honesty.
cake? But is it candle?
Is it a
Can it
candle? Is it a
candle?
cake?
Yeah.
What would you?
Oh, yeah, it's a candle.
Yeah, it's a candle.
Didn't like that at all. I didn't enjoy that one bit. That was horrendous. Any exciting things happening this week apart from candles?
Nah. It's January's rough, man. I don't like it.
Yeah, it is.
It's
Yeah,
been,
yeah,
it's been a
money's
long,
tight,
it's been a
money's
long
cold.
month already, and there's still
long
like
month.
a couple more weeks to go. And
Yeah, I know, it's dragging, isn't it?
yeah, a little bit. in all
January always
honesty,
drags.
Yeah. So yeah, it's not a lot going on. Just a lot just working, coming home, chilling out.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Yeah,
I'm the fucking same.
that's it.
Yeah.
Birthday coming up though soon, mate, isn't it?
Yeah, but I keep being like, oh, I've got a week off my birthday. And I like keep looking and I'm like, oh, it's like 3 weeks away still. Like, what's going on?
Everything is so fucking far away.
It's so weird when you look forward to like 3 weeks to go quick so you have 1 week. You know?
Yeah.
It's like...
It's
just
really
too
like you
much
really
time.
are like just wishing away time, aren't you? Like
Yeah. Oh, well, fucking hell. That's crazy. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I've had a similar week. Not much going on. It's very boring for listeners.
Yeah. Sorry,
I did
guys.
want to talk about this. I did want to talk about this incredibly crazy thing, which I already told you guys in the group. But I'm going to bring it up because people are making YouTube videos about it. So
Okay.
this is
All right.
mad. This is mad. So when we did
Yeah.
I'm going straight in here. So you listen, so may remember I did the Star Wars book. I'm going to make this brief. I'm not going to go whole deep into it. It's just been a weird week. When we did the Kickstarter for the book, for the Star Wars book, we had the guy get in touch with me on LinkedIn, I remember. His name was Mark Airy, and he got in touch with me on LinkedIn. And he had a YouTube channel, Blue Harvest Toys, and he was on there as like toy auctioneer or something. Anyway, he messaged me saying, "Oh, do you want to come on my YouTube show, talk about the book?" It was the first one to do it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, okay." Message Johnny to say, and Johnny's like, "Oh yeah, we need to do this stuff." So, but I said to Johnny at the time, I was like, "I got a weird feeling about this guy. It doesn't feel right." And whenever he comes up in conversation and they get away, Johnny's always like the first to be like, Greg called it from the start when we first met him. Like, it just felt weird, man.
Yeah. What was it
we
like?
went on his
like,
YouTube show, and
just like his interaction.
I couldn't really explain it. Yeah, I just couldn't explain it. How he looked, the things he wrote on his LinkedIn, and like the way I don't know. It just seemed weird. I couldn't really.
There was just something off about him.
Feeling from him. Yeah. And then
a weird vibe.
We went on his YouTube show. Yeah, we went on his show, and I can't remember much about it, but it was I remember it being fine. And he interviewed us about the book and what have you, and blah blah blah. I need all questions because obviously no one knew who we were, so there were lots of questions and stuff. It was more of that sort of setup. Anyway, through him, we then met these awesome guys, these awesome YouTubers. And they all hosted this one live stream together, like once a week or once a month, whatever. But they had their individual channels. Anyway, they were such a big support to us during the Kickstarter that we said to Mark, because they were all going to buy the 5-book tier where you get them slightly cheaper and you get 5 books and send them to Mark and then divvy them out to the other guys because they were all like, some are England, some are in America. Anyway, we then messaged Mark, but look, because you guys have been so supportive, we're going to give you the books for free.
Right.
So we did that. Guys all got the books for free. Later it turned out that he'd taken money for one of them, like as if like he'd bought like. And that really pissed us off, and like it really pissed Johnny off, and we were just like, "Oh, fuck this!" So we'd never sent him his book, but we gave everyone else theirs. We never sent him his book, and it is what it is. And he'd always bring it up and be like, "Oh, I paid for my book, I never got it online," and just fucking always just saying shit. Whenever someone picture of the book up, he would say something negative about us, and just like about I never got my book, blah blah blah. It's like, oh, fuck off. He annoyed everyone. He lied to his friends. He lied to his friends about, he took credit for things he didn't do. Like, it just pissed everyone off for different reasons. It wasn't just one thing. It seemed like over the course of like a year, he just pissed off loads of people for all different reasons. And they were all down to him just being selfish and a bit of a prick. So I
feel like every kind of sort of,
but he was still just
every genre of like.
Anyway.
Every genre of like YouTuber kind of sort of has that kind of person in it, though. You know what I mean? Like there is someone who's a bit of a prick and no one really likes. Like,
yeah, I thought it was a bit big for his boots. Like, just an odd guy. Anyway, he became a bit of a laughing stock to a lot of people, but he still had a lot of big followers. He still had followers of his channel and stuff. He still had a lot of like friends in the community and stuff. Not everyone wrote him off. Like, but every time there'd be a convention, he would usually come up in conversation, and people would be taking the piss or sharing their ridiculous stories they had with him. Anyway, a couple months ago, he disappeared, which is very weird. He just stopped posting on YouTube, which is really, people were generally worried about him. Like,
so channel was still up?
Oh yeah, channel was up. He just disappeared. He just stopped posting, and no one knew why. And he just stopped posting on Facebook, stopped replying, and very unlike him. And everyone just found it a bit weird, like he'd just gone. Some people got worried. Rumors started circulating. He'd done something a bit naughty and he was in prison, but no one really committed to anything, because I heard some of the rumours, and I remember saying to Johnny, like, we don't know this is true, so we just didn't really think or react much to it. And that was like September.
Yeah,
anyway, this week I woke up in the morning and there was a message from Johnny just saying, so Mark's a scumbag, with a link to an article that had just released. And basically, yes, he had been arrested in September, and his trial had happened this week, and he's gone to prison for 2 years for basically being a paedophile.
God damn.
But not just like a one-off thing. Like, he has 3 previous convictions which no one knew about.
Oh.
So it's not the first time.
Oh my God.
The article specifically relates to, and I don't know how many other occasions there were, but an occasion where he was busted, but didn't realise he was talking to an undercover police officer.
Oh, fucking hell!
And he was posing as a 12-year-old girl, and he was saying how he said he was a teacher. He asked if she'd ever been in porn films, if he wanted to make one. He wanted to see her in a uniform. He wanted to get her pregnant. Like
Jesus Christ.
Just like
the worst of the fucking worst.
Fucking bad, man. Like, and it was just like, fuck. God, I'm glad we never sent him his book.
Yeah.
Like, generally, there were a few times I felt bad. And I even said to Johnny, should we just send him his book?
Yeah.
I'm glad Johnny was quite adamant about not sending it.
Yeah.
I was just
right.
like,
God.
you know, fuck. Like,
how does it feel to know that you've interacted with a paedophile?
Well, it was weird because, like, I've had to obviously go through all my personal and Red 5's social media and make sure there's no following or
so
going on.
you put a link in the group chat of the video that came out about him, and I
there's been a few.
I wanted to write in there and just be like, have you watched this yet, to make sure that none of the content that you appear in is fucking useful.
Oh yeah, no. So it's quite interesting. Yeah, so I went through and unfollowed lots of stuff. People are obviously looking for old posts of his now. So Johnny messaged today to be like, oh, you know, there's a post about Mark with us in it that's appeared in your Facebook.
Oh,
and I'm
fuck.
like, why? And it's because somebody's gone on it and commented and put like a throwing up emoji on it. And it was from 4 years ago.
Oh,
so it's popped up on my feed. So I'm like, fuck, so I've had to go through and delete all that stuff because people are obviously just looking to spread the word, but it's kicking up all these old posts. Like, just before this, we start recording, another video popped up and I watched it, and it was quite sad actually. It was a guy, he was generally almost in tears, being like, I was Mark's friend.
Yeah.
And we were so worried when he disappeared. He's like, we went to his house, we were calling hospitals, we reported him missing to the police. Like, you know, he's like, we were really worried what had happened to him. And then we heard back from the authorities that he's safe and we can't say any more. Like,
Jesus.
But eventually he was given Mark's email and they did briefly communicate from prison, but Mark wouldn't say what it was, just, I'll tell you everything when I get out, I won't be here long. Like, I've got the sentencing this date, and then I won't be here long, don't worry.
Yeah.
So everyone's like, oh, okay. And apparently his mate, this guy was like dressed in, there's rumours about why you're there.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I can't say anything, but honestly, don't worry, like, won't be here long. And then when the sentencing was happening, he said, it's been a few months, he said he was frantically searching every day to find out what his mate had done.
Yeah, of course.
And he was like, 2 days passed, and I was like, oh, maybe it was just, I don't know, like, because he didn't knew the result yet. He's like, maybe it was something not as big as we thought, like, I don't know. And then he's like, I woke up this morning in the video, and it was just like, it was everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, and he's like, I can't bring myself to say what he's done. I'll link the article below, blah, blah, blah. He's like, and if you do read it, I wish I hadn't read past the headline and the first few lines. That's all I needed to know. Like, but he was almost in tears. But he's like, this guy was like, he's been in my house. He's like, I have two 12-year-old daughters. He's like, he's been in my house. He's like, they weren't in my. He's like, they weren't home at the time, but I remember him stood next to a bedroom. He's like, he's been in my shop when my girls have been there. Like, he's getting really emotional about it. Like, and he's like, he's not my friend anymore. Like, a lot of people think I was covering him. People were saying I was covering him up because I knew he was in prison, but he asked me not to tell anyone. I didn't know why he was there. It's my friend asked me not to, for privacy. I didn't know why. Now I know why. I'm not his friend anymore. Like, just leave this guy alone, man. Like, I don't get it. It's like finding out. Yeah. It's like finding out your mates. It's like finding out one of us is a paedophile. It's a head fuck. It'd be like one of us died in the most horrible way. That makes you hate them afterwards. Like, so yeah, crazy, man. Like, just a really fucking. Yeah,
it's so
mad.
Fucking nuts. And I mean, yeah, you kind of sort of, as someone, like, as you said, his friend sort of being that close to him and stuff, all of the worst possible things go through your fucking head in that situation.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not just not just like your own sort of like family and stuff like that, but just like, fuck, like, you just send you, like, it will make you spiral, like.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I unfriended him a while back.
Yeah.
Before we knew about this, just because of him being a prick for other reasons. But even then, I'm like, man, how long was I friends with him? It must have been a couple of years. It must have been like me posting pictures of Indiana on there and shit. Like, there was a statement from one of the conventions we go to, they released, being like, we just want to let everyone know this has come to our attention. He'll be back in a couple of years. He's basically saying, he's like, just this isn't the first time it's happened. Like, just don't go near him. Keep away from him. Comments are turned off. We just want you to know, be careful what you post. Blah blah blah. We're all in shot. This whole, like, it's becoming like it's quite in this. I'd say in the community,
yeah.
But in this like more niche sort of community where we kind of all know each other are through Facebook groups and conventions and stuff. Like, it's obviously quite a big thing. And there's a whole mix of people who are like, you know, I knew it, I fucking knew it. You know, he's always a bit weird, always a bit. But then there are others who are generally like, fuck, man. Like,
like, it's both ends of the spectrum, isn't it? Just like, everyone's just like, oh, fuck, then there was something not right about him, and then it's just like,
But that other video that I've shared in the group with you, the guy's literally like, Mark harassed me for like a year or so because I had the audacity to open a vintage figure on my video. Like, I opened a vintage figure, and he just gave me hell for it for like a year, not in like a fun way. Like,
just
like, and I'm like, I could see him doing that. Yep,
that's
I
just
could see that happening,
isn't it? It's just psychotic. It's just
he always, people always questioning his videos, always him in toy shops and toy aisles, but like not like Sainsbury's, the toy aisle, like filming toy stuff. And there's been a few times he'd been asked to stop, and he'd be quite like, no, I'm allowed to film here. And then he switched out for the spec glasses with the camera.
I did see that bit. It was just like,
and then you're just like, you know, it's not looking good, mate.
It's fucking not.
You're also going to make people, you know, who would go in there and be, this is in here, are going to be thinking twice about going into, saying, you know, toy aisles of fucking Tesco's and fucking.
It's going to make me question everyone with glasses if I saw that.
Yeah, and I have glasses too. And they're big too.
I'm watching.
I've got IMAX cameras in these.
I said in the group last night, I watched that on Unfrosted on Netflix.
Oh yeah, I was listening to a podcast talk about that the other day.
It's really, really good. For those who aren't aware of it,
write it, right?
Yeah, it's Jerry Seinfeld, and he plays one of like the heads, one of the head people at Kellogg's. And it's the whole story of Kellogg's and this other cereal company called Post, and it's all about the war to get Pop-Tarts made and stuff, and it's so fucking like the whole thing feels like a Saturday Night Live sketch. Like,
that's what they were saying on this podcast,
but it's great. Like, it's so fucking good
because they were trying to break down what it was. They're like, it's not really a mockumentary, but it's not really a biopic either.
It's just a really, like, I said it to Becca after watching it. I was like, I feel like I've just watched like a Drunk Histories like episode. But it's the whole thing is obviously the creation of that, but also the rivalry between the two companies. And there's one bit where they're talking about having moles in the company, and they're just Kellogg have put a mole into the Post company, and they show this guy like as a janitor like mopping around, and he's just got this video camera right on like taped to the front of his thing, and it's just, and they're not even paying attention to it. And then it cuts, and then it cuts back to like the Kellogg's board, and there's someone like in there. And they've got the other team have got one, and he's also got a camera on the front, and they're like completely oblivious to these obvious cameras on their mops. Like, he's like holding the mop up to her face, and she's like, "Did you stop that?" Like, that's exactly what it is. That's what made me remember that.
Yeah, maybe a little bit more subtle than that. Maybe not, but the glasses are definitely more sneaky. But yeah, wasn't really going to put on there. I just wanted to fucking... I was like, fuck it, I can talk about it. It's in the news. There's fucking people making videos about it.
It's out.
And I actually gave a brief version that didn't go into all the shit in the article.
Yeah.
Like, mad.
That is. You gave a brief description is fine.
Yeah, I did, but this is fucking funny. I always think this is fun. I bring this up quite a bit. I remember, I don't bring up quite a bit, but when he comes on in conversation, I'm like, this always makes me laugh. Is when he did an unboxing video, this little box. This is a few years ago, and he's taken out just tatty old figures. Oh yeah, this one here, this is good. Look at that, blah blah blah. Anyway, it turned out the box he was unboxing was actually like a box of his shit his ex-wife had just sent him back. Oh my god! And he turned it into an unboxing video as if it was like, "Thanks for sending this to me."
Oh my god!
So yeah, it's been a weird one, and just seeing all this shit pop, like I'm saying, seeing these videos pop up on YouTube. Like,
well, that's it. It's not like names are redacted or anything as well, so like I think it's pretty open to fucking talk about.
Oh no, that's correct. It's literally in the news. Like, this would easily be darkest story of the fucking week. Like, if I didn't know him, if I was like, wow, look, a Star Wars collector turned out to be a paedophile, I probably would have done that for darkest story of the week. I probably would have. Like, it makes no difference. But for this occasion, I know who the guy is. That's the only difference.
I was going to say, I mean, even if you saw that headline, you'd kind of be like, oh god, do I know him? Just
do I know them? Before I move on, I do want to actually see if I can find the I can find the headline. I know exactly where it is. Right, so the headline was Online leads paedophile pretended to be teacher and wanted sex with girl in her uniform. online leads paedophile. That should be like on a name badge, right? What are you? Oh, I'm an online leads paedophile.
Yeah.
Online only. Until I meet them in person.
Online only.
Until I meet them in person.
Out of all the possible opportunities, or like things that you could be online, you chose to be a paedophile.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm an offline paedophile. I only operate out.
Two
I'm an
different
urban
categories. One. They hate each other.
They proper hate each other. They're literally fake. Just like, they're just. It's
Call
like the squabbles
a
between the small community. Yeah. Yeah, there's the aerial paedophiles that only work on planes. Like,
oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Work. Sorry, it's not work. I shouldn't say that.
Trains,
dark times, messy situation. Glad he's been caught. Glad he's been exposed. And everyone can fucking move on until he comes back. And I doubt he would start to carry on his YouTube, but it wouldn't surprise me. If he makes that out of prison, who fucking knows?
Imagine the "I'm back" fucking video he does. I'm back, big capital letters.
Guess who's back again?
5 exclamation points.
Anyway, fucking whoop. Cheers, Mark. All the best. Have you heard about this fucking Arnie Hammer film?
No. What?
Arnie Hammer, we've obviously talked about probably a couple of years ago now.
Yeah.
When he basically
the
just disappeared from making movies, didn't he? Because there was all this rumours going around that he was into cannibalism. And really, I think it was more just pretty like... I think it was more just sex stuff, right?
Yeah.
I think it was just probably a very specific area of sex stuff.
Maybe he was just into biting, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe it was that.
Because he basically just disappeared from the movie industry. I saw recently he had a podcast where he sits in a room and chats to people, which seems he had weirdly. I didn't watch the podcast, but his mum on. I saw one with Tom Arnold. Do you remember Tom Arnold?
Yeah, Roseanne's husband.
No, that's Oh, Real Husband, yes.
Yeah.
It was the Real Husband, wasn't it? Yeah. Sorry,
yeah.
I was about to be like,
he was in
that's
True
fucking...
Lies. He was Arnie's partner in True Lies.
Yes.
So on.
Yeah, he was on one. Anyway, it's been announced he's making a new film. He's leading in a new film. And the new film is called The Dark Knight. And it's about a vigilante. It's called The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Spelt exactly the same way as well, The Dark Knight.
Are you fucking kidding me?
And it's about a vigilante who decides to clean up his town and take on the criminals within it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And apparently, I got to find the thing now. The director.
Does this
apparently, the
vigilante
director is
have a name?
quite known
Right.
for making like bad rip-offs of films.
Yeah.
I've got to put The Dark Knight, and I've got to put Arnie Hammer. It's like, obviously, it's going to bring up Dark Knight.
So they didn't even attempt to just do like night spelt with an N. Like
Didn't even attempt.
Didn't even attempt,
mate. They didn't bother. Controversial actor to star in Yule Bowl's The Dark Knight. Oh no, he played and he was cast as Batman 18 years ago. He was going to be in the role. They almost made a Justice League movie 18 years ago. George Miller, the director of the Mad Max movies, was making it. And Arnie Hammer was. They were literally they'd already started production when they pulled the plug on it. But he was going to be Batman. He was Batman.
Wow. Why'd they pull the plug on it?
I think it was something to do with... Because this was happening the same time as Christopher Nolan's Christian Bale trilogy.
Yeah. Oh, maybe that's why.
I can't remember what it was, but a film flopped. There was a comic book film that flopped or something, and it scared them a bit. Like, and it was a really expensive movie. It was called Justice League Immortal. That might have changed. But anyway, this film is called Dark Knight, and he plays a character named Sanders. He's described as a vigilante who takes justice into his own hands as he sets out to hunt down criminals, which his crusade transforms him into a social media sensation and a hero in the eyes of the public. The local police chief sees him as a menace to society and aims to take him down.
Well, all right then. God.
And there's a quote here from the director. Our movie is very different from the Christopher Nolan movie, so there's no danger or confusion. Doesn't really sound like there's lots of danger. I'm confused. It sounds like lots of danger or confusion.
I'm intrigued to see what the poster's going to be like for it. In all honesty.
Oh yeah. I wonder how much they'll make him look like Batman or just what direction they'll take him in. But that's insane they're even calling it the Dark Knight. That's so funny.
It's fucking, yeah, that's like, why would you even bother? Not even as a joke.
So funny.
Like, it's not even...
Yeah, it's weird. But yeah, okay, we'll wait and see what happens there, Arnie Hammer. Welcome back.
Yeah, I guess.
Back with a bang.
I feel like this is not the stepping stones that he is expecting it to be.
This is my shot. I'm back.
Unless he's like, unless he's going into this like unless he's going into this like you're an actor that's starring in like, you know, Sharknado. Unless he's going in with that kind of mindset, don't bother. Like,
yeah, for sure. That's I think it sounds like it's being taken quite seriously, but I think it is definitely what you just said.
It shouldn't. It sounds like a parody. Like, or
yeah,
just like some fucking dumb
yeah.
low budget movie, and it's supposed to be low dumb budget movie. Like, and that's what makes it good.
Of low budget movies with good ones, we were talking about Marcel the Shell with shoes on.
Oh, we were. Yes, we did.
Not in the podcast, out the podcast. I was actually quite surprised you'd seen it. So I'd seen the YouTube clips a few years ago and just thought they were really funny, really cool. There's only a couple of them, whatever, but I thought they were really cool.
Yeah.
Then I heard they were making a movie, and they've been doing it for ages. And I'd read all about how they were doing, because I watched a lot of videos about movies being made and stop motion and stuff, and it came up a few times that they were doing this really slow. It was taking so long to make because they were doing proper like practical stop motion for the characters, and it was taking. It just takes a long time.
Well, I mean, like, you remember like the stories of like who's the guy that did Wallace and Gromit, Nick?
Oh yeah, Aardvark Studios, whatever it is. But yeah.
I mean, it's just like, you know, it's something like it takes like 2 weeks to do like 1 second of like stop motion or something. Like, it's...
So somebody said you can. What did they say? They said a really good day, or a really good. If you could leave after a day, if you were lucky, you got. Was it like 7 seconds of film? Maybe on a really good day.
Yeah,
like a really good day, you get 7 seconds, and I was like, "Fuck!" Like, so I was really, but anyway, and then he obviously took a while to came out, and I saw it was on Netflix recently. And finally, I've been waiting to see it for ages. Finally sat down and watched it, and just fucking loved it. And I didn't really know much about the story was going to be at all. I just knew what the character was. And
so we literally were just scrolling through. Me and Becca were just scrolling through Netflix and saw this, and it was just like, okay. And then as Netflix does, it starts playing you like a clip of it.
Yeah.
And the whole clip is like when Marcel is trying to launch. Like a nut, like a little nut on a spoon up onto like a spice rack. And it's that over and over again, and it's sort of like, you know, and then it makes it up there, and then it starts. Like Marcel uses honey on his shoes so he can climb up a wall, like. And it was just really charming. The whole sort of thing was just like he quotes like Wayne Gretzky. It's just like, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, and then but then can't remember who said it, and it's just like who's a faint, and it's just the whole sort of like stumbly, uncertain. Like it's very charming film. Crazy the voice as well. Yeah, I thought it was like a kid. Like I thought it was like an 8-year-old kid or something. Like,
yeah, I can't remember her name, but she plays what's her name's sister in Parks and Rec, isn't it? I can't remember.
Lisa. No, I know. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I realised as well. She was in Parks and Rec, and she used to do one of the voices in Big Mouth before they. Before she stepped down or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just really good fun. Like,
it's just really So it's basically a film. It's called Marcel the Shell Shoes On. It's basically about a guy is a filmmaker's in an Airbnb, and there's a shell that lives there who has one eye and shoes, and he's cute and talks.
Yeah.
And he's just this little character, and it's pretty cool to see their whole, what their life was before. I love how their little tree houses and the plant pots and shit. Like, the design's amazing. It's a very simple.
He's got he lives with his nan as well. His nan is there also. Who he looks after, and
it's really and it is honestly like it's basically him trying to find his family, but also his bond with this filmmaker. But the whole film itself is just such a deep cut, such a deep dive on fucking grief, loneliness.
Yeah,
like it's fucking sad in points. It's really funny, like you say. It's really charming. It put me through a lot of emotions watching it.
Yeah,
And obviously it's take on how social media. At one point he says a really good line where he does a live stream on YouTube to ask people to help find his family, and he's looking through all the comments, and none of them they're all like, "Oh, I love you, do another one. Oh, love Marcel, love him. Oh, so cute," but no one's actually helping him.
Yeah.
And he says, like, this isn't a community, this is just an audience.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, oh, yeah.
That's really thought-provoking, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
But then I also love...
They find where he lives, and they all show up, and they're all outside doing videos and taking... And he's like, why are they here? Are they here to help? And the guy's like, I don't think so. No. He's like, oh.
There's some stand-up bit, and I think it's when he's just about to upload the YouTube video, and he's like, Marcel's like on his laptop, like watching him do it.
Yeah.
And he turns it on, and then the warning sign comes up that his battery's low, and just
low
Marcel,
battery, yeah.
And Marcel just goes like, "Oh, your soda can is almost empty," and just stupid shit like that just always makes me laugh. Like,
the things he comes out with it's really funny. Yeah, generally it's really funny.
It was really it was really, really good, and it's. Yeah, and I think the whole kind of sort of like the hidden undertones of like what's going on with the actual director, like the filmmaker and stuff like that, and
who is the director? Yeah,
that's it. And it's like but it was just generally just really enjoyable, and like as you said,
really
it's fun.
Film.
Yeah, it's just a really nice film.
Pleasant, but yeah, it does have sad moments. And not really. It's not like specifically a moment that is sad, but it kind of it just gives you... There's just moments through it where you're just like, I don't know, just the things he says that he doesn't really know much about the world outside, but it is very much a take on grief and loneliness and like... Yeah, it is. Yeah, it really is. Like I felt it watching it too. I was like, I don't know if I should be watching this at the moment in this frame of mind.
There was.
I loved it. Do you know what? I didn't look at my phone once through the whole time I was so like in it.
Really,
I didn't even look at my phone. I was just so in it. Like, and part of me almost didn't really want it to end. I quite like the feeling it gave me in a weird way.
Yeah.
So it's made it to the short list of movie posters in my house now. I've got it framed framed up in the hallway with a little Marcel sitting on top of the frame, which is the only reason I know you saw it, because I put that on Instagram. And when you messaged, I was honestly like, oh wow. I was like, I didn't think you'd watch or see this. Like,
no, it was great.
Although I say now, I have literally been telling everyone to watch it at work. I'm like, you've got to watch this film.
I definitely was. I think I was telling my sister, and because I just assumed it might be something her kids might enjoy, or not. I don't know, but I was just like, oh my god, it's so fucking good. I think we watched it on Christmas Day, or Christmas Eve. I can't remember.
Nice,
but yeah, man, it was just it was good viewing. I also too would recommend it to anyone. It's enjoyable, it's fun, and it's a nice film.
Yeah, it is a very nice film. I've watched it a couple of times now. Like, very lovely. Yeah. Before we're going to Geezedropping, actually, I'll mix it up a bit. I want to throw this out there first. I can't remember why I thought. So recently, but it's been fucking cold some mornings, and my car's been so fucking frozen. And when I shave my head, even though I'm still wearing a beanie when I'm out and about, when I get up in the morning on an early shift, I can, even with a hat on, I can just feel that I've shaved my head because it's so fucking cold.
Yeah.
Like, and then I get to work and I'm just like walking on the shop and I'm like, I can really feel I shaved my head today. Like, fuck. And then I was talking about like phones do, and then I started getting loads of random ads for like fucking keep your head warm and like stupid things bald guys have to put on the beanies and stuff, and I'm like, I'm not doing any of that. But in the middle of it, there was an article, and then during the article there was like an ad, not an ad, like an advertisement of something else, which caught my eye, and it was Canada's hair freezing competition.
Okay.
I know it took me a while to get there, but I just wanted to get there. Just be like, by the way. So there's a hair freezing competition, and now before I even read any more than the headline, first thing that popped in my head was a scene from Metal Gear Solid, the game on the PlayStation, where there's like a fight in the snow, and there's a big Russian guy, where I think he's Russian, and he talks about back in where he's from, in the dead of winter, they do ear pulling competitions where you pull each other's ears to one of the cracks, and that made me feel really weird. I was like, oh, I don't like to have a feel of that at all.
Yeah. I feel like the easiest body part to rip off would be the ears.
Yeah, that just like, ugh. But this is actually an article on The Independent, and listen to how they start this article. There was once a band called Static X. Their late singer, Wayne Static, had the most remarkable shock of hair. Long, hell-raising spikes, straighter than a razor blade. As a rock-loving teen, I would use GHDs or my mum's iron to electrify my Mob 2, but I never quite achieved the same mane as Wayne. At 19, I gave up and let it flop by Kurt Cobain. 20 years later, I was at the Eclipse Nordic Hot Springs in Yucatan, Canada. I was flown from the UK to compete in the International Hair Freezing Contest, where every year competitors are invited to jump into Eclipse Balmy's waters, wet their tresses, and let Jack Frost have his way. The caveat of the competition is that there must be cold weather, a minimum of -20. If the mercury doesn't sufficiently drop, your follicles won't freeze, and the fellow with the camera won't take your photo. When I arrived last winter, it was around -10. Damn cold, but not cold enough. That's crazy, man. Like, you just go there and...
I like that they made Jack Frost sound like an absolute pervert. I'm just imagining him just creeping around people's ear, being like...
yeah, exactly. You just go around rubbing their heads.
Yeah,
man.
Consume.
Yeah, it sounds... Fucking hell. So they, like, chainsawed a hole in the ice large enough. He says he likes cold water swimming in his native Kent, but no amount of North Sea can prepare you for that. Slap a bona fide ice dive.
Oh,
Ooh.
God, yeah.
Genitals pang aside. It was a joyful jet-like zapping experience, augmented by the view. Yeah, it does look nice in the snow and the mountains and stuff. Mm-hmm. Fuck, man. A frozen hair competition. What isn't there a competition for? I mean, it looks like a really nice time. Everyone looks to be having fun. They just go stay in the snow for a while, camp out, ice baths. Frozen hair.
Sounds like a spa, man. Sounds alright.
Frozen fucking hair competition. I don't even know what that means. Is it like, so they're trying to make it look like Static X? Or so they wet their hair and just freezes?
I guess having the longest hair is probably a bonus, but also a bit of a hindrance, because I feel like at a certain point it's just not going to be able to freeze. Like, because it's just all the weight below it.
So if you like stuck your head in there, but then very quickly pulled it out and just kept shaking, would it just slowly freeze like fucking Medusa?
I don't know, because like as you're shaking your hair, you're getting rid
warm.
of like less
the water.
Like you're
but
getting
bear in
more
mind,
moisture.
It's -20, so it's gonna freeze fucking quick as well.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
It's gonna
as
freeze
pretty much
quick.
as you're pulling it out. Like
it's gonna freeze quick. So you actually got to get it fucking. Oh man. God, I'm going to look up videos of that later on and see what that looks like. I'm curious. I want to know. I'm going to look up videos of it. I mean, I could do it now, but it would distract me because I'm sat right in front of I'm in the living room. The TV's right in front of me. That's fun.
Damn.
God, okay.
Do you think we should find that could be a good list of like weird like English competitions, unless we've already done that sort of thing?
Maybe. We have done at some point, because there was the ironing board, the wife carrying one,
that's right, yeah.
the ironing on top of the mountains, wherever it was.
Gloucestershire.
There were a few weird competitions.
Yeah.
And now I haven't read this whole article here, but again, another one that I saw doing the rounds, which seemed very strange. A business class passenger flying a United long-haul flight from San Francisco to Manila in the Philippines has been banned from flying with the airline after they urinated on a fellow passenger. That's fun.
Ugh.
Jerome Gururez from Hillsborough, California, in the Bay Area, was sleeping in his business class seat and was 4 hours into the 15-hour journey, lured into a slumber by the hum of the engines on the UA 189, when he was suddenly awoken by the sensation of liquid hitting him. The incident, which left passengers and crew in a state of disbelief, occurred on 27th of December as the offending traveller, allegedly in a dazed stupor, began urinating on the passenger, completely oblivious to what he was doing. The warm steam seeped through layers of clothing, leaving the passenger drenched in humiliation and disbelief.
Oh, yeah, what would you do? Like,
no change
up
of
to
clothes. He had no change of clothes, leaving with no option but to sit in his urine-soaked attire for the remainder of the flight. Oh my fucking God.
Jesus.
Jesus fuck, man. Imagine that's the last thing you really want to have. Apart from a plane crashing, that's one of the last things you really want to happen.
Yeah.
You don't want to shit yourself on a plane, and you don't want the plane to crash. Maybe in that order. And you don't want someone to piss on you while you're asleep and have nothing to change into.
I mean, regardless if I'm on a plane or not.
Or where you are, I guess, yeah.
No, there's no I guess about it, Greg. That's what I would like to go through life as. Like, without that happening. That would be ideal to me.
We banned the passenger, a statement read, providing little consideration for the passenger, the pisser, who endured hours of discomfort. In a desperate bid to avoid legal consequences, the alleged suspect grovelled for forgiveness, apologised profusely to the passenger and his family. He begged them not to press charges.
Jesus Christ.
He obviously just did it in a weird daze and asleep. I mean, people get up and piss in wardrobes, I guess. Like,
yeah.
I mean, could you imagine you are on a plane and you wake up and you're pissing on someone and you die? Fuck.
I kind of want to believe the guy. Like, I mean, there's no real explanation as to why he would do that on such like a confined space where you're not going to like get away with it. So it does. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, just sleep pissing, innit?
Sleep pissing.
God damn.
Maybe that's a sport.
I did actually remember something that happened this week. Not the thing that I mentioned previously before we started.
Oh, okay.
Which was the woman who slept with 1,057 men in a day.
Yeah.
Instead, I remembered this that I saw on Reddit. Basically, in America they have these coffee shops that you like a drive-through coffee shop, right?
Yeah.
And it's a small little hut. But inside, the barista or barista, that's just
like a
barista.
Very stuck, yeah.
Full regalia. The barista is a woman in a bikini.
Coffee craftsman.
Yeah, they just got like a scantily clad woman serving coffees in these huts. Anyway, there was a video went online of a woman who works at one of these places filming a guy pulling up to the car drive-through, and he's wanking. So she was he full on like had no trousers on and had his dick out in his hand, and she filmed him doing so. As soon as he realised that he was being filmed, he sped off. So that went online, and due to that, he killed himself.
Oh fuck! That's embarrassing, isn't it? That's really being embarrassed, isn't it?
It went viral, and I think he was he could not handle that, and took his life.
Fuck, that's fucked up.
That is fucked. Wow. How's that for darkest story of the week?
I was about to say that might be darkest story. I had a darkest story of the week, but that might be darkest story of the week, I think. Damn.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Damn.
Bit of a wild one. I've seen that posted on several places.
Jeez. Yeah. That's
unfortunate.
Yeah, that's really messed up. Fuck. Yeah. Well, I mean, dangers of wanking at work, I guess. Was he working?
He wasn't.
No.
He was pulling up like.
So because I lost you for a little bit when you were saying what happened, but you don't have to repeat it. I've got most of it.
Yeah.
Wow.
But no, he was a customer. He was pulling up to the drive-thru.
Damn. Okay, so you kind of knew what he was doing though, then.
Yeah, it was on purpose, definitely.
Right.
Dude wasn't wearing any trousers, man.
Well, then there you go. Fuck. I mean, okay. When I lost you, you just telling the story a bit, and I thought for a second someone had pulled up and he was wank. He worked in the coffee shop and was wanking.
Oh, I see.
Now I get what's going on. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I've thought this up a few times now. I still remember that time when I worked in Moseley down the road, and I think was I with Irene or was I with Jay? Oh no. Either way, I was with someone, and we were driving down the road, and there was a woman stood at the bus stop. She might have been in a wheelchair. Was he in a wheelchair? No, she was stood at the bus stop, and a few feet away from her, which is the guy sat in a wheelchair wanking.
Yeah, I do remember that. It's a bizarre.
During the day. It was in the middle of the afternoon.
It's a bizarre thing to see, like outdoors.
Yeah, it's a weird thing to see outdoors. Wank.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was like marathon training and I'd be shitting in woods and what have you, if I saw someone shitting in woods, I'd get it. It's desperation. It has to happen. But if I walked past and saw someone wanking in the woods, I'd be like, oh, I guess it's like trees.
Well,
maybe that stuff doesn't.
I'm pretty sure I mentioned it on the podcast, but there was that time I saw two people shagging in the park as I was walking home.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
It's a bizarre thing to see.
I remember that. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, should we go? Should we wrap up with Geezedropping? So I'm losing you. My computer keeps flashing up, being like on Skype. It's telling me we have a bad internet connection.
We do apparently.
It's like go audio only. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. I will go into Geezedropping though.
Cool.
Where of course we hear snippets of a conversation heard by you or us. Read about context. What have you hear? What have you heard? What did you hear? Geezedropping.
Geezedropping. Having a listen.
Should we do the ones that you didn't do last week? Because Indiana was on the episode and you held them back.
Yeah.
So these are from Top Shagger Luke.
These are Top Shagger's other
Geeze
I
drops.
can't talk, man. Yeah, Geeze drops. Perfect.
Yeah. Has your internet connection gone down?
No, my brain has
Joe's
gone down.
buffering.
This one, he says, he heard this. It says, I'm not a molester, but £3 a pop.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
He'll do the molesting or he gets molested?
I don't know. I'm not too sure. But yes, that was nicely themed around
lovely.
for the episode. Quite glad I held on to it.
Yeah, good job.
He also had this one from his Christmas soiree. It just says, "You give broken home energy. Don't call me daddy though."
Oh, nice.
And then finally, no context on this one. He sent it to me, so I'm not even sure if it's a keystroke or not. But it just says, "I don't care if you're messing around. Once, twice, 3 times a cocksucker."
Ah.
So yeah, who I think potentially someone got caught being a cocksucker. Is potentially what's happened there.
Right. Okay. I'm with you.
Maybe. Who knows though?
Who knows? Maybe. Who knows? Maybe they were caught because a number was on a cubicle toilet somewhere and it said cocksucker above it. Please call. It's usually what happens, right?
That's what happens.
Was that the rest of this? Thank you,
that
Top
was, yes.
Top Shagger. Have you got any other ones or just those ones?
That was all I had, I'm afraid.
I've been sent quite a few, but I've got some. I've got one that I heard, and it was, I can't remember where I was, but it was, I was in Bental Centre in Kingston. I was in one of the cubicles of Indiana, and there was a guy in another cubicle with his kid, and I heard the dad say, "If you find something very small, you can put it in."
What?
Which, funny enough, Fran follows up with this one: "Stick it in me." That was pure coincidence. I just, the next ski shot was from Fran. It literally says "Stick it in me."
Oh, I like it. That's a rare time that geese drops sound like actual conversation.
Another one from Fran: "My dad's like a golden retriever. Not much going on behind the eyes."
It's not a bad thing. I mean,
say
the same about me these days. You know what I say?
Davian sends one. Mr. Davian Dead, Mr. Podgod himself. I have a geese drop for you. Overheard on the 131 bus to New Malden. I've got a date with Charlotte. Charlotte? She's been on top of more sausages than Heinz ketchup.
Poor Charlotte. Getting called out like that.
That's good. That's really good. All right, Sam. Oh, Northern Geese Trapper. Geese Trapper? That sounds weird. We would say Geese Catcher. That still sounds like he's molesting and sorry, we've got to stop molesting. Sounds like he's just grabbing men off the street.
No, we don't need to stop molesting because we never started, Greg.
Yes, true. Sam heard this one. Dad, I need a poo again. It's the again I like.
Yeah. Like, when was the last one? Or is that the kid finding out that you do more than one poo? Like,
yeah. Like, I can't believe this is happening again. I thought it was like a one-time thing.
Yeah. I thought
this happens regularly, and I'm like, yep.
Oh yeah. Sometimes irregularly, or as we like to call it, irregularly.
Marin sent one. Marin, by the way, if you're listening to this episode on release day, you would have just seen Ghost Stories in the theatre. I'm not going to say anything to freak you out of listening to this on the way home, so it's all good.
Yeah, fair enough.
That was for you.
That was for all of us.
Yeah, there you go. Be scared. And I'm because I want to see it. People know I want to see that show, and it's in Richmond, and I was like, oh, I should go see it. I'm sure I will at some point. I'll get there. But Marin sent the skis drop. Like I don't want to unnecessarily drink, you know. Just the label. Don't want to unnecessarily drink, you know.
Yeah.
But and then sent. But she did follow up with maybe just the one pub. That's going to be a rolling in at 1 a.m. job.
Just the
That's
one.
going to be rolling in at 1 a.m. throwing up all over your dick.
For your dick.
Although he did say she. Oh, who knows what world we live
This
in.
day and age.
This day and age. Right, thanks for that one. That was awesome. Stu, we've got one to finish up. Stu sent us. Go on, Stu. And again, as always, I don't really read them because he pre-warns me what's coming. Geezedropping, having a listen. I'm sat in the lounge with my elderly father. Rod Stewart is on the television performing.
I thought
My
he was
dad
going to be
looks up
like
from
my
his
dad,
book.
Rod Stewart.
That's what I thought at first.
What the fuck?
My dad looks up from his book and bellows, "Whoever told him he could sing wants fucking shooting." That's good. That's good. God, he's dropped his dad. Go on, son. Go on, son. That's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
Just the vitriol
You
behind
there,
it.
Joe? Oh, Joe. I looked down, looked up,
I'm
and
here,
you were
I'm here,
frozen
I'm here.
because I've lost connection again. But you were out. It looked like you were just lying down. I was like, "You okay?" I was about to ask if you were right, and then you popped back in again. Right,
I'm here,
shitty
I'm
connection
fine.
here. So I say we'll wrap up the episode there. I
having some
did have more
troubles here.
stuff. But I can push it back to another episode. But that was good. I enjoyed that. That was good.
Yeah,
Sorry
so
if I started off dark with the whole paedophile thing, but you know what? We got there in the end. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
I'm not going to use that as my sign off.
Please don't.
I've
Choose
been
something
Greg,
else.
the Dark Knight rip-off Armstrong.
Oh, okay, good. I've been.
All this time, we just don't pick it up during the episode.
never
What
do.
could it possibly
I
be?
never do.
Well, you know, I don't either.
God damn. I don't know. I've been.
But I have notes in front of me of what we're going to talk about, so sometimes I can be like,
Well, there it is. Yeah, I've been. Joe once, twice, 3 times a cocksucker Jackson, I guess.
Let's go with that one. It's a good ending. We'll be back in a couple of weeks, everyone. See you then. Bye.
With a better connection.
Yeah.
You've been listening to The All Seen Guys with Greg and Joe, where Greg probably had some kind of list and Joe most likely went for a piss 5 minutes before the end. If you hear this, it means that Greg hasn't sorted an outro yet. So maybe just imagine some music here, because honestly, that's all I actually wanted. Okay, bye.